Well, hello there and welcome.
Welcome.
So Eric and I are here in Dallas, Texas, where we are attending a different kind of conference for the two of us.
Yeah, this is new for me.
Yeah, certainly. We are at the podcast movement that's here in Dallas. As I said already, last year they were in Nashville, and next year they're going off to Las Vegas, which we know about Las Vegas because that's the conferences that we go to are usually held.
We were just there 2 weeks ago.
We were, yeah, Black Hat, and then I stuck around for DEF CON, which was a lot of fun.
Okay.
And but yeah, so it was a lot of fun in itself.
Yeah.
But this podcast movement conference is all about the industry of podcasts, whether you are making one for fun, or even figuring out what kind of podcast to make. But it looks at the industry overall, where you've got people that make a living off of their podcasts. They have community of people that are following them, loyal listeners, almost to the point, as I was saying, they make a living because they make money off their podcasts, off the number of people that are listening to it, sponsors that they may have as well. So it becomes a very lucrative business for a lot of the folks here. So this podcast focuses a lot on the industry itself with the different tracks on growth, marketing, monetization, specific industry ones as well.
There's technology. I think there's like 8 tracks here or something. It's quite a few tracks.
Hang on a second.
Surprised.
So we're at an 8-track?
Oh, geez.
It's an 8-track? Wow.
It might be an 8-track. The flyer's over there if you want to see how many tracks we got.
And see how many tracks we got.
But yeah, there's some that are specific to the technology around here. There's some that are about monetizing. There's ones that are about all kinds of different things. And frankly, I was a little surprised at how many people were here. Now, this is my first podcast conference, so I don't know that I was expecting much, but I expected maybe a couple hundred people. And then we got in the line for badges the other day. Yeah. And wow, that was the longest line I've ever been in at any conference. So
even LineCon at DEF CON?
Yeah, that was even longer, I think, than, well, it was maybe as long as the badge line at DEF CON was.
And then we realized that we both had the Pro Pass.
7, 8, 9. There's like 10.
10 different,
10 different tracks
technical,
on here.
video, marketing, monetization, creation, society, culture, and advocacy, sound, brand impact, industry, startup stage, and
solution
stage. There you go.
Yeah, so there's quite a few things going on here, and like there were just a ton of people here, and it's been very, very busy. And actually, we've met quite a few different people just wandering around saying hi. We did a speed networking gig the other day, which I thought was, I'm kind of an introvert, honestly. And, when it comes to things like that, I'm like, I don't know about all that. But it turned out pretty good. We just kind of rotated around. One person stayed put. Other people rotated around and then totally lost track of where they were rotating to. It all fell apart in the end. But we met some pretty cool people and some interesting people with different areas of expertise.
Yeah, one of them dealt with personal growth, how to, improve life through meditation. Another guy I chatted with, his is all based around numbers when he has his podcast, but he talks
that was pretty cool.
Talks to people about their life stories and everything else, has a wide variety. I don't know about you, but he said, dude, I got to get you on the show. So hopefully that
He didn't say that to me.
Oh.
What does that mean?
I don't know. But he asked me to be on the show.
Yeah, I talked to a lady who was, she did one for COVID for like house moms trying to, or homemakers that were trying to maybe start a little business, a little side income or something while they were home for COVID, and while the kids were home and while everyone was adjusting to that. She had some pretty cool stuff with that. Talked to a number of pretty interesting folks. There was the one guy in the cowboy hat, real tall guy in the cowboy hat.
I didn't get to
who apparently wasn't a cowboy, according to other people. He's from Southern California, but really tall guy in a cowboy hat, and his thing was it was car themed. It was like cruising something, and it was he's a real motorhead, so we got to talking about that because I'm kind of a car nut myself. But we've also just met people wandering around, just saying hi out there, and and talking to people in the different sessions and stuff.
Yeah.
It's been really good.
It's been neat. I've got to meet some of the people that are behind the technology that we use in our podcast for security masterminds. Folks like Descript that I do a lot of the editing with. Saw the Riverside folks, which was great. And then I ran into the folks that do CapShow, which is a new AI tool that I use for creating show notes and titles and a lot of the collateral information that I post online to help with the promoting of the webcast. So it was great meeting them, and they were like, so have you got any ideas you want us to help improve the product? And I'm like, no, but give me a little while and I'll come up with some. So
Yeah. I talked to the folks from Podbean, which is where we do the Jarek show at. That's our audio side of that. We stream through StreamYard, which I didn't see anything here for that. And honestly, I haven't seen a whole lot of video-focused groups, although I keep hearing people talking about video. We know Descript does some video editing and stuff right now.
Yeah.
I talked to the Zencaster gal about doing, they're doing video stuff too.
Right.
Not in a big way yet, but she said that, they're doing the video thing. And I said, well, are you tying into any of the other places or even hosting for the audio files where you could just roll it all out at once and have your podcast and your video stuff done at once? And she went, oh, that's kind of a good idea. We kind of do these things, and I'm not sure why we don't do those together. And so, who knows? We'll see what happens with that. But there's been some pretty interesting, just very different podcasts.
Oh yeah,
around here
you get all kinds of all walks of life, all different varieties of them. Some that you may not, there's a lot of fiction ones, crime ones, mystery ones were popular. We've run across a couple of other security ones, but some technology ones, but a lot of ones deal with people's stories or personal growth or helping improve yourself. So,
well, one guy had a sports one where they do a lot of different sports stuff depending on the year. He's following all that. And then Perry here, Perry Carpenter's here.
His 8th Layer Insights.
Yep, and that's such an amazing one. If you've never heard that podcast, like he put so much effort into that, unlike the Jarek show. But I mean, he really puts a lot of effort into those.
Oh, he does.
And it shows. It definitely shows. And that's what's really kind of astounded me is there's so many different ways to podcast that all fit under podcast. Right?
Yeah.
Like with us, you put a lot of effort. You produce the Security Masterminds one. You do a lot of work with that. But Javad and I get on Friday mornings. We go live. There's like almost no prep, and there's very little involved. But that's a whole different way of doing it that's not necessarily wrong.
No.
It's just a different way of doing it.
A different way.
And I keep seeing different ways that people put these things together. Sometimes they're interview based. Sometimes they're just telling stories.
Right.
So, yeah, it's kind of cool to see all that coming together here.
Cool. So what are you looking forward to tomorrow and Friday?
I'm looking forward to looking at the schedule and seeing what's going to be up to. I haven't gotten to that point yet. The schedule is so packed, though.
Yeah, lots of talks. Yeah.
It's back to back to back. And there's a lot of times I wish I was in like 2 different places at once. Yeah. So I have seen a lot of the little Black Magic cameras around here, so I'm assuming they're recording some of these.
Yeah,
and
they are going to make it available for us as attendees, so we'll be able to watch it, catch. So the ones you couldn't be in, you'll definitely be able to catch.
Yeah.
I know for me, looking at the growth ones, because right now our podcast is doing okay. We're in a niche market, but certainly want to look at a way of growing it. So I know for me, looking at some of those growth sessions tomorrow, I pretty well don't need to worry about the monetization right now.
No, neither of us are really looking at monetization. Yeah. And a lot of folks, when I mention that, they're like, what are you doing to monetize? I'm like, nothing, and we don't really care to.
Yeah.
And they kind of look at you funny because, a lot of people here are trying to at least pay some of the costs or whatever.
Yeah.
And, but there are those that do it as a hobby, but it's kind of funny to see them when you tell them you don't really care about monetizing. Yeah.
So we'll definitely look forward to catching a couple more of those sessions and some more of the networking events. It's great. This is such a very strong community.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a community like this. Our InfoSec community is very welcoming and inviting, but this one is everybody wanting to help everybody be successful. And I run into people and they're like, oh, so what's your podcast? What does it do? Who do you talk to? What's your market? Everyone's so curious to figure out what's going on.
Tomorrow's Thursday, right?
Tomorrow is Thursday.
Yeah, so Mark Cuban is one of the big
Mark coming tomorrow.
speakers tomorrow. So
he owes me
Shark
money,
Tank
I think,
guy. Does he
Mark.
really?
So, yeah, I'll have to ask him for
invested
it.
in something. And, no.
no.
But yeah, he's going to be here. They've got some pretty interesting.
We've got
speakers.
the folks from CNN, their podcast. The Disney podcast folks were here
Yeah.
too. That was interesting. That was very fascinating. So.
I didn't talk to them at all. I didn't. Yeah. I don't know. There was like singing and dancing coming from over there. I kid. No, don't sue me, Disney.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and there you have it. So hopefully we'll be back tomorrow night. We'll do another one of these recap videos.
Hopefully we'll be back.
You don't
think we're going to make it through tomorrow?
No, I'm just worried you're going to get sued by Disney now.
That's possible. Who knows?
So I'm James. This is Eric, and we're two security guys on a podcast. We'll talk to you later.
Take care.